Happy New Moon in Taurus. In case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and I will help you live fearless, live loved, and live free. In this video, I'm going to share with you an energy update on the new moon in Taurus and 5 things that can help you anchor in that divine love within that is opening the portal to reunions as we move forward. Hello, fellow flames. Happy new moon in Taurus and Earth Day here on April 22nd of 2020. The foundation of the energy for this new moon is in perfect alignment with the new beginning of the Aries cycle of the new astrological, the new Earth, and the new beginning of all of our new ways to experience love in all areas of our life. When we get to the heart of this energy is about infinite love. And so today I want to talk to you about 5 main things that are coming with this energy cycle that deals especially with the reunion portal for the twin flames. And I'm going to share with you 4 of the things kind of generalized. I'm going to put the focus on the reunion aspect because that's more about what this Taurus energy is doing. It's bringing the reunions into form. Taurus is all about a dance, and it's opposite extremes of polarities that's dancing between being lazy to being amped up. But most importantly, Taurus is about the grounding and finding the neutrality between those points and anchoring that in. And Taurus is all about sensual, lusty. They love the fine wine and the cuisine and the high quality sheets and the finer things in life. But they also are very practical, and they also understand real value, and they also understand the worth that comes from anything, that it doesn't come from anything with around them. They understand it comes from within them. And so they pull that back within. And that's what we're being asked to do in this energy, is to pull back within and find the flow of the infinity from within, the dance between our polarities that's seeking the neutrality, so that we can then restore the balance from within and restore our heart so we can awaken our lover within. And I've been shown just recently the 8 different types of love that we need to integrate within ourselves. And that 8 different types of love deals with, it's the Greek version of love. And I actually wrote this down, and I'll put a link, like not a link, but I'll list below them in the Greek form. I'm going to share with the practical form. So one type of love is the romance and the passion. The other is the affectionate love. The next one is selfless love, or that universal love. Then the familiar love, and then the obsessive love, the playful love, the enduring love, and then the self-love. And, that's an infinite amount of love. And like on this journey as twin flames, it's all about returning and restoring back within, back to the heart, back to love. That's what this new moon is ushering in. And speaking of which, the date is an infinite sign. We have the 22 of 2020, and you do the numerology on that, and it's an 8 number when you just add 22 and 2020. And so in those polarities of all of what's happening in this energy, if what you could be feeling is the sense of a boat rocking, okay? And that you're being slung around from side to side and being shifted in such a way that you're going from these opposite extremes of your emotions. And at the end of the day, it's really hitting the heart chakra. And heart chakras are being blasted open in order to experience not only this infinite love that comes with the infinite ability to align within, but supreme joy is the other highest version of that love, because when we restore that heart and we activate more of the higher version of ourselves and the higher compassion and the higher version of love, we then tap into that higher heart. And in the higher heart is where we experience the infinite supreme joy of enlightenment, which is the whole point of this journey. So as we go through this portal here of the Twin Flame Reunion portal, what this basically portal opening is doing here, it's helping us go through a process of revisiting past cycles is number one thing that it's bringing forth here. And revisiting past cycles means that we're going through the phases. Most of us started a twin flame journey or met anyone along the way as an ascension teacher, or have these patterns and codes and signs and synchronicities, tend to have this reunion that comes in a cycle. So my awakening to the twin flame journey, even though I'd already been on it unawake for like 20 years, my awakening was 5 years ago. And I was put through a whole entire revisit, a repeat last week without conscious effort, but it was just bringing another cycle through, another layer of depth through for heart expansion, but also another release of what's no longer serving purpose, to let that go of what's not serving the highest good. So I'm seeing a lot of clients right now that are basically repeating what feels like repeating, but I don't want to use repeating, because repeating is a pattern that you're trying to break basically. But what you're doing is you're revisiting the past cycle so that you can clear the energy that you took on, that you can correct your imbalance to bring the neutrality to your opposite polarities when this in the situation or in that circumstance or experience that you experienced. And that could be with your twin flame, and that could be with other people or other experiences that you have went through, because you're needing to basically rewrite that process so that you can reclaim your power out of what you've lost in that, and take that power back as you collect your soul fragments and bring wholeness to your own self from within, by taking that dance of those opposite polarities of the experience from someone that is triggering you back to you to align with yourself. And then the second part of this is we are revisiting these cycles. We're rewriting the story. So going back through that cycle has given us an opportunity to basically let go of the old story, let go of the memory pattern of that. Let go of the identity of yourself that you was something, and that not to hang on to those parts and pieces that no longer serve your purpose of who you are, which is the third one then, is you're rebirthing into the new identity. And the new identity says you're someone new. So many people have been split between identities. The old patterns of the old, not just the old person, but even like their careers into like a mission, letting go of that cycle of, we get attached to sometimes not just our twin, we get attached to these stories and these identities of who we've been. So I've been going through a rebirth with a lot of my clients this week, and I'm seeing a repeated like positive pattern in that, is that it's kind of going back to the womb of what you took on and carried for your parents, and what you came here to learn in this lifetime, and what you can let go of. And I've mentioned this before, but I have a rewrite your birthing process that is the first module of my Reprogram Your Childhood Wounds that's free. So I'm going to put a link below, and make sure to check that out, because there is not enough words I could tell you in the power of that. And I've been saying that for a while, and I could tell you based on the response of it that not enough people are getting this, and that is free in that part. So be sure and check it out. And I don't care how much like reprogramming you've done in childhood wounds or inner child work, it's another cycle, it's another layer. So be sure and check that out, and that first portion is free. So then the fourth thing in this is we're resetting the programs and upgrading into the new templates. So like as we go through these revisiting past cycles, now it's about that the programs that we once knew, that we once used, and how we handled things, how we saw things, how we believed things, that now those programs don't work. And we're being asked to now bring in the new template, the opposite of what we've done potentially. That down to, the twin flame concept of what we've known in the past of the twin flame journey. And also what people do not understand is that journey has many paths and not everybody's path is the same. There's some common things in the dance. And that common thing within the dance is always leading you back to you. But then how that links to everyone around you and your journey and your lesson and the teachers you need to get you there, to yourself within, to awaken that lover within, that is dependent upon you and the path you chose and the experiences you chose and the contracts you made with certain people to get those lessons. And so that leads me then to the fifth thing that I really want to hone in on now is that reunion of the true sacred reunion within self. And like because of this Taurus energy and one of the number one pieces that means, we're bringing it into form. That's how I know that we're moving into this portal of reunions, but not just the reunion on the exterior, but the reunion within. And that we're balancing that masculine and feminine component. And that Taurus is all about the physicality of bringing into form the physical concepts of what we desire into our reality. So when it comes to reunion, I want to first talk about the infinity within. And in the infinity within, that's really about us being able to bring balance within ourselves through these opposite polarities and finding the neutrality. And then that will then bring harmony with everything and everyone around us. One of the things to pay special attention to during this energy is that we're being asked now to really take the masculine and the feminine components, which is part of the reunion portal, is our masculine and feminine sides of ourselves, and bringing balance to that within. Because of this Taurus energy being so physical, it's also affecting basically our physical bodies. And in our physical bodies, pay attention to things that are going on in your body, and pay attention if it's on your right side or your left side, your right being masculine and your left being feminine. As an example, I went to get a chiropractic treatment today, and I have not had my neck moved on the left side in about almost 3 years since I actually had my true twin move it the last time, being the only person that seemed to be able to get that spot to move my neck. And I've been working through this physical part of letting go of having one person in this world that can adjust that spot. And today, that for the first time, even working with the same new chiropractor for almost 8 or 9 months, it released today. He's also been working on my left hip, which has to do with about going forward with my feminine side. And all of this rebirth into my femininity and coming into the highest version of my feminine side, and now coming into what I would tell you, I'm being shifted out. You guys have been hearing me talk about this expression and healing those childhood wounds of that. I've brought it full circle in this cycle over this last week, and I can't tell you what I've even went through to be here to share with you what I'm saying. But the key in this is I want you to know that you, because of your infinity within, to find the neutrality and the balance from within, it's set up and designed in such a way that we contracted to experience everything that we need with everyone that we need it from, for every experience we need, to allow it to hit our polarities from the opposite side for us to bring the neutrality within ourselves. And that makes anyone and everyone a reflection of you, and that they become your mirror to help you clear the energy, correct the imbalance, and to collect that energy, which in some ways is, making everyone your mirror. and basically could say that even everyone's your twin flame, even though in the history we know that there's one person. But that is also an old template, that we're letting go of those older templates. And that doesn't mean that you can't or won't reunite with that person. But what it means is you have to then be open to allowing your personal self to to come into that infinity within. And it may take someone else to help you do that. But when you find the wholeness that becomes achieved within yourself, and then you become into the vortex of your greatest potential, then there's nothing that can separate you from any and everything else. And what will happen is then your vibration goes up and up and up. And as it goes up and up and up, and you become the highest, most real and authentic person of yourself, you will start to see that the shadows and light, the dance between the two, start to neutralize, and you'll clear things quicker, you'll see things quicker, you'll let go quicker. And then you come into this wholeness of your heart, and that's where you'll find the perfection of the experience and finding the gift and the beauty in it. And in that, realizing that source energy that you're aligning with within the neutrality of yourself becomes that still point. No matter what chaos is going on, it becomes you're aligned with source, and source equals chaos, source equals stillness, source equals pain, source equals beauty, and all of that can exist within yourself. So let's talk about how that alignment within, that infinite love within, relates to the connection of the reunion, and that being the love with another. The first thing we have to remember, that we as twin flames came here to break down the relationship structures and patterns and programs that even include defining the relationships not just with ourselves, but with another and our beloveds. So the concept of us getting stuck and fixated on that one experience and that one attachment that we can get focused on through the attachment of the connection, then that attachment will then put interference in the connection of your infinite love within and your beloved's infinite love that connects to you. And that attachment then will create the interference, causing the infinite flow of love between the two of you to come into a place of a block and not in alignment, which will send you through the dance, through the polarities, until you can heal the codependency, the rejection, the void, basically. And that the goal in the redefining is to, fill up the heart from within and to realize that nothing is separate from you, and that you're able to experience that supreme joy and love basically in your daily life, and that it may not appear the exact way you think it should or it is, but from that you can realize that it's in your life already happening, and to let go of the idea and the logic that you are going to control what that looks like. As we move through the collective oneness from within into our beloved, and then with the collective universal love, we're bringing and anchoring that love into the earth, and as we're talking about with this Taurus energy, we're doing that through this whole quarantine. This is all happening in line with this whole Earth Day to heal the earth with love. And remembering as we do that, we're creating a collective love, and therefore everything around us that you attract, as I said earlier, becomes the mirror reflection of you, and it's all sending you to experience the physical form of love within. And that when you do awaken that love within, and you do connect to that love within, and you do create that experience that is not outside of yourself, you are then going to tap into the greatest potential of yourself that will then bring into form that which you want around you. All right. So as we think of moving through old programs and old different templates, we need to think about that what we've known as the traditional twin flame journey and reunion is not necessarily going to be what we even learned up to this date. So as we release these stories and when we reset basically our opportunity to do a reset of the program. Okay, that's one of the things I was mentioning earlier, resetting the programs that we once knew. And reunions are one of the top of the list that are being reset and reprogrammed in a way that it's a new relationship with ourselves, a new relationship with another, and then that redefines new relationships for the collective, which also creates a redefining of the twin flame concept and the idea that fixating on that one thing is going to separate you from everything. And it doesn't mean that one thing can't exist, but your attachment to it is creating the interference in the flow of the infinite love of yourself, with your beloved, and with all that is. Okay? So make sure to check out all my resources below. Make sure I also have, during this new moon, my book, Twin Flame Codebreaker, that is free. From 4/22, it's free. And so make sure that you can check that out if you've not got my book. It's going to be very impactful and very informational to help give you some of the history and some of my journey of the Twin Flame journey. Keeping in mind, these journeys are all different for everyone. There may be some commonalities in this dance, but the journey of how we get to this alignment within ourselves is not one path, okay? That's what we need to redefine in this new defining type concept, okay? So make sure you like, comment, share the shine, and I will see you in the next video. And I send you so much infinite love. Namaste.